Talking some basketball. We want to welcome in Antwan Scott, who has joined the conversation. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, we're hoping we can get you in here.
Can you hear me?
I cannot. Say something.
What's up?
Almost there.
I think it's this Carolina fan we got.
That's right. I didn't want to give him any airtime, so I shorted out his cord.
You know how Carolina always hates.
Okay. All right.
I got to tell you, Antwan, I had my dad was in here earlier this morning. He stopped by. He was like, "Yeah, what y'all got going on?" I said, "Yeah, we got Norwood's coming in, and Antwan Scott's coming in a little later." He said, "Antwan Scott play for Carolina?"
Oh.
I was like, "Oh no."
Well, we got State Wake in Carolina. We just don't have any Duke representation here.
That's all right.
No. Do we?
I don't know any around
Me
here.
either.
Can we
Not
get
in Eastern
Jordan?
North Carolina.
Jordan's sort of despite being a Tennessee guy, seems to be the voice of Duke basketball.
These two
around
would
here.
bully Jordan Honeycutt.
Plus his LeBron thing. I mean, we've talked about it. He's just not a big LeBron guy. Now, let's pick up. Let's start some of the conversation we had earlier, and I guess we'll start here, Antwan. What do you see? Is it a sweep, or will this be like last year, where Cleveland can steal a game before it gets back?
I'm sticking to what I said before it started. 4 games is over. So, yeah, the broom's out. I pulled mine out this morning. I said, yeah, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to go ahead and get my memes and everything ready tonight.
And do you buy the possibility of him going to Golden State?
No, that's all talk. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, and I know we've talked, I think, at length about all these possibilities. But, you know, what's interesting is we were talking earlier about that video that got leaked after game 1.
Yeah.
And your thoughts on the body language. And again, I mean, there's a lot to dissect there. There's no interaction between coaches and players. There's not a whole lot of interaction between players and players. But your thoughts on the closing minutes of that?
I mean, it was bad to watch that. It just looked like they just wasn't on the same page, period. And, yeah, it was just bad. I mean, I looked at it, and it just seemed like everybody wanted to point fingers. Then JR, he just got his head down. LeBron away from everybody. At that moment, he should have been pulling everybody together. Like, look, it's overtime. Like, let's do it. You know, we still got a chance. You know.
Did either of you guys ever have a time in your playing career where, I mean, I know it's probably not something as boneheaded as what JR did, but it's something that happened on the court that made you just go to the bench and be like, I'm done with these fools?
Nah, it ain't never made me feel that way, but I've been in a game, a crucial game, where one of my teammates called a timeout. We didn't have any. Yeah. We was playing at Maryland. If you remember, Josh Howard called a timeout.
Okay, yeah.
And then he did it in the NBA in the finals with Dallas. Yeah.
Well, we had.
Remember that? Yeah.
And I won't. They're local because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But we had a very bonehead way. We lost a game for New Bern this year that was not as JR bad, but it was up there.
It was up there.
and then the middle school when we had one where we called timeout and it was a sideline out of bounds, sideline, and the coach drew up a play, or maybe it was JV, and the guy took the ball out of bounds and ran the sideline.
Wow.
Yeah, JV. Wow. But getting back to, I agree. We talked a little bit before you got here about that video, and I agree with you 100%. I was so disappointed in LeBron and Coach Ty Lue equally, because when I saw that video, I looked at it from a coach's standpoint, from just coaching my kids and everything, and I was sitting there going, how is Ty Lue not in the huddle going, guys, shake it off. Next play, we're better than they are. We've got this. I was so disappointed in him. And then equally LeBron going, guys, forget it, JR. I got this. They can't guard me. Yeah. Come on, guys. We're better than they are. I held them both equally responsible, but both of them should have been in that huddle going, shake it off. We got this. We're better than they are. We're better than them the whole game. This is us. You know, we're going to do whatever. Yeah. I was equally disappointed in both of them. They just were like, we're done. And LeBron, you know, he's got the towel on his face. He's not speaking.
That was bad.
If you're a leader and you're truly all as one, you almost felt like LeBron checked out. Said, I did everything I could. You guys screwed this up. I'm out. Where he should have been in JR's face going, forget it. Next possession, knock in the next 3. When I kick it to you, be ready.
That's how you know they're not on the same page. Because even when Lou come in, like, he didn't pull them together. Like, come together. You know what I'm saying? That's how
I kept waiting for the huddle to get tight,
you know?
and it was 2 guys, 3 guys in the picture.
And then he already making excuses.
Right. Yeah. And I agree with you 100%.
Did we have any timeouts? Like, you know, if we had timeout, you should have known.
Right.
You know, you the best player in the world, the highest IQ in the game. Like, how you know you ain't have a timeout?
So on the NBA bench, who's responsible for being the guy that pulls everybody together? Are you expecting LeBron or one of these veteran leadership guys? Like, I want to say Kendrick Perkins, not Kendrick Perkins because he's a scrub, but one of these guys who's been there, or does it need to be Ty Lue? Or does Ty Lue, is he so emasculated by everything LeBron James has done to him over his career that he doesn't even feel like he has the power to bring the team together in that huddle?
I think for the most part, normally you start and you look at the coach, but when you talking about LeBron James, you know, being this guy, this IQ, like, they should have already been together before Ty Lue even came in the picture. You see what I'm saying? He should have already had them together. They shouldn't even been sit down. Like, we ready. Let's go. You know, like, don't worry about it. Everything's good. We had the game. Let's win in overtime.
Right.
Right. And Antwan makes a good point because usually you see during timeouts the coaches huddle and they're discussing strategy, what we're going to do next. So probably you didn't see in that picture those coaches were talking, and that's when LeBron gets in front because you've seen it with – you've seen the videos like with San Antonio Spurs, and you see, you know, Duncan talking to the crowd or Parker or Ginobili. You've seen good leaders that are all invested in the team do that. So what should have happened is LeBron should have been in there. Come on, guys. They can't guard me. We're better than they are. And then Ty Lue sweeps in and goes, here's what we're going to do now. So it was a failure on all of them. It was a failure in leadership. It was, like I said, it was pointing fingers immediately going, I did everything I could. You didn't.
Yeah.
So it was disappointing.
I mean, even walking off the court was bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you see him doing like this.
You're talking about getting your memes ready. They
like,
already have one.
Yeah, like that was bad. You know, like,
showing him up.
Don't worry about it. We good. You know, overtime. Let's get it.
Yeah,
you know?
put your arm around him. Hey, tie score. Tie
Yep.
score. This is where we wanted to be. We're game 1 on the road. Tie score. I'll take that.
That's how I know LeBron and checked out.
I agree with you 100%. I did everything I could.
He's done this before.
Yep.
Think about it. He's done it before.
And that's the thing about LeBron is he can mask it. Like, he can check out and still go for 30, 10, and 10.
And I think that's what he's doing different this time than he did previous before. Because
He
you
quit
really
against
knew
Boston.
he quit. You really knew he quit. Even though he had the numbers, but you
Against
really
Boston,
knew he quit.
right?
Yeah. At least he's still out there, you know, he's driving, he's still playing. He was just
Right.
giving the ball up, you know. So
Well, we talked about it one time a couple of weeks ago about the way I thought you could tell when LeBron checked out. He can get 32 in his sleep.
Yeah.
So he's still going to get his points, still going to get his rebounds and assists. And yet, you know, is he making the defensive rotation? Is he getting a hand in the pass lane? Is he challenging shots? And that's why I was telling these guys, that's where you could see that he's kind of checked out, but his numbers look great.
Yeah.
But he's not giving it to you on defense. And that team is atrocious on defense.
Yeah.
And he kind of sets the tone, walking back, yelling at the refs about not getting a call. So they all, like, you know, well,
the refs have been terrible. They have been terrible.
It has definitely been one-sided, it feels like. Now, and one of the things we've discussed this week, too, is, and listen, I think when it comes to talking about the best player in the league or best player in the world, whatever, I know we're really nitpicking towards the top.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of the, you know, in the fan talk, there's a lot, well, KD's the best player in the world, and he surpassed LeBron James. I don't believe that, because the truth is, I was telling you, my whole measuring stick is, okay, if I take LeBron James off of Cleveland and I take any of the stars and using Golden State, including Kevin Durant, I don't think they're even near as competitive. Now, part of it is LeBron James as a player. He's a good facilitator. Kevin Durant is not. But as I said, I don't think you can take Curry, put him on Cleveland with that cast. That's, to me, what separates LeBron James, and why I still say he's the best player in the NBA right now.
He don't even supposed to be in the finals. We keep it real. Not this year.
No.
Yeah, not with that team. I mean, my opinion.
No, I mean, Indiana had them
Indiana should've
close,
beat 'em.
and then Boston
Yeah.
was playing without Irvin and Haywood.
Yep.
Is there somebody, like, okay, I look at all the moves that Cleveland made there right before the trade deadline when they picked up the Hoods and the Clarksons and all that. One guy that they got rid of, and they didn't really get a whole lot back for him. It seemed like they were just doing him a courtesy. Dwayne Wade, they sent him back to Miami. LeBron James said yesterday that he believed that Dwayne Wade would be very, very good for them in these playoffs right now. What would Dwayne Wade bring to this Cavaliers team that they're really missing? Is it just the guy that they can go to in the fourth quarter for that extra scoring punch?
Well, I mean, leadership too. I mean, guys respect D Wade, and I mean, just think about if he was out there. We seen what he been able to do this year. I mean, even at his age, I mean, clutch. That's D Wade, and I think a lot of these games would have been different towards the end for our decision making if he was in the game. So
listen, 100 times out of 100, if you ask me, do I want to pass the ball to young Kyle Korver or old Dwayne Wade? I'm passing to old Dwayne Wade every time. I'll take that option every time. Will Cleveland make the playoffs next year?
Oh, whoa. What?
no,
What? No. Hell no.
Because we know they're not going to have LeBron James. No. And I want to bring you brought this up, and I've been waiting to ask you guys about this because I think it's true. I was telling him I could see LeBron James coming back as a player to Cleveland at some point after he leaves this summer. But you think the next time he comes back is when he comes back to buy the Cleveland Cavaliers from I'm guessing Gilbert's going to own it then, but who knows? Could you see? I mean, do you think he'll return as a player if he leaves, or could you see him returning and buying the team?
if he if he do leave, he's not coming back to play at Cleveland. That's, he in the other locker room. Will he buy Cleveland? Maybe. I think that would be like for him leaving again. That'd be the big thing that everybody will praise him for. Coming back, buying the team, where he's from and all that. So
well, and don't dismiss the little wink, wink, nod, nod. Him staying there, and them going, all right, we'll give you a little piece of the team. If you stay with us and sign the 3-4 play more years, we're going to draft your son when he comes out, and we're going to give you 5%, 10%, 15% of the team. Don't dismiss that.
But on the flip side, he can say, I can just leave. Team can go down. I can buy it.
The value.
And I can still draft my son when he comes. I mean, that's the thing.
Where do you think he plays next year? We've already talked about it.
I keep saying Lakers.
That's what I said.
And I'm saying it for real this time because I talked to a current player and he mentioned the Lakers. Him, Paul George, and them making a trade for another solid piece.
You said you talked to a player about that? Come on, man. Put a name on it.
I can't do it.
We got to go sources. Sources have said.
And I talked to somebody on these sports shows. So,
okay.
Yeah. He thinks San Antonio.
San Antonio. Yeah. Does that mean Kawhi's they're going to work something out and Kawhi's going to stick around?
He's saying he in San Antonio. I said, no way he going to that city.
See, I would love to see that.
He quit on them.
No. Yeah, but I mean, he never played for a coach like that.
Right. That's what's so interesting to me. He bullies all his coaches.
He always been the best
Pop.
coach.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But like I said, I'm here in L.A., Paul George, and they making a trade for another
and that's what
solid piece.
I said. I think L.A., and my point was he's got 3 rings. He's not catching Mike. He's not catching Mike. So then I was telling these guys, you kind of flip it and go, okay, I'm 30-some years old. My kid's going on. Yeah. So where lifestyle would I like to be the next 5, 10, 30 years? Go play at the Lakers. You become part of the Lakers mystique. You play, Chamberlain, Jabbar, everything. Learn from Magic. You're going to be pretty good. And then, like you said, guys want to come. Nobody's ever going to go play with him at Cleveland, ever.
No.
Y'all talking about D. Wade. I think D. Wade was ready to get out of there because South Beach with, Gabrielle Union or Cleveland. I got my rings. I want to go back to Miami.
I think that was more of a favor to LeBron. I came to Miami, boom, 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 come to Cleveland.
I got you.
Yeah. But, I mean, you never know with this L.A. thing. I threw out something the other day, and I said I wouldn't dismiss the Clippers.
I know. People have said that, too.
I mean, he already wanted to play with DeAndre Jordan. You talking about a defensive team? DeAndre Jordan, Avery Bradley, Patrick Beverley.
Right.
That's 3 pieces they got there already.
Yeah, well, the reports are that DeAndre Jordan is fed up in L.A. and he wants in Houston now.
I mean, I can believe that too, because
and Capella's a free agent, so that would be a perfect way to replace Capella.
But I guarantee you, if LeBron and Paul George is in the Clippers,
Yeah.
he'd change his mind real
That's
quick.
true.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
that's a real good
Yeah.
point. So we're all in agreement. The game's going to Golden State tonight. We're gonna get a sweep, and even if we don't, it's gonna end on Monday, which I think is when Game 5 is. So, like we love to do, we're gonna turn our attention to the NBA offseason, and the big thing this week, as players were doing some workouts, was Mo Bamba. The big man out of Texas ran a 3/4 court sprint faster than Russell Westbrook, John Wall.
He
You
only
know, to
probably
name
had
a
4
few.
steps.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So Antwan, like you do a lot of training stuff. How is it even possible for someone 7 foot tall to do something like that? And are we going to start seeing a new era of NBA where we just are accustomed to seeing 7 foot point guards who are faster than the
Well,
fastest man we know?
It's pretty much his stride. I don't think he's really that fast. You know?
Right.
Probably it's his stride. I'm pretty sure Westbrook probably beat him down and back, you know, but it's probably his stride because he's a tall guy, pretty long.
Whoever gets in, that's going to be special. And they're saying it might be Boston.
Yeah, that's
Might
what
find a way to get
ring
Mo
protector
Bamba.
because Horford's getting on up there in age and stuff.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
you
he's
know,
what, 31? Just turned 31?
No,
I
thought
don't
he was-
question
I thought he was
anything
older
that
than
Ainge
He's
or
31.
Stevens do anymore. I'm done with doubting Ainge and Stevens. So
Who the MVP of the finals?
Steph. Unless KD goes for 40 again
Nah,
tonight.
it ain't Steph. It's not Steph.
It's going to be KD, you think?
KD again. Tell you.
Look, Steph had a bad game 3, but to me, like I was telling Mark yesterday, I'm scoring it like a boxing scorecard, and
It's
one
2-1.
and 2
It's
I gave
2-1.
to Steph. Yeah,
I
but
agree.
but if it comes to the tiebreak, that game 3 performance from KD is going to put him over the top.
well, KD been solid the whole time.
Yeah, he has, but Steph is special.
Steph in the second half of game 2, you know, he started, you know, I think they left him in to break that record.
Yeah,
He didn't have
right.
to be in the game.
Oh,
So
I-
KD been
absolutely.
solid, and the reason why I think they winning is because that mid-range game that KD only can give them.
And Livingston,
Yeah, but
Livingston
it's
can kill them
mostly KD,
mid-range.
and
Yeah,
Steph was mad after the game last night. Well, the night before, if y'all saw that.
I did not. see
Y'all
Missed
didn't
that.
see him really upset, and Andre Iguodala put his arm around him. Y'all didn't see that?
he
Just
was
'cause-
mad because KD took over.
See, somebody was like, they were saying that Curry was so upset at his performance. I said, dude, they won. What are you upset about?
Right.
Like, I get it, but wait till you get in the locker room to show that
Sure.
emotion, not while the cameras are
Right.
following you down the hallway, you know?
Right.
My opinion, KD had that game. Curry knows he's not going to get MVP.
And he wants one.
And
too.
he wants one
He
because
needs one
if
to
he don't
validate.
get one, exactly.
He needs to validate.
If he don't get it, what do you think people are always going to say?
Most overrated MVP since Steve Nash.
Exactly.
Well, and also, you know, and a little bit of the narrative had been early about KD been being so ISO,
Yeah.
and it had stopped the ball movement at Golden State, and there was starting to be a little bit of a Curry versus Durant narrative. I mean, the Golden State fans, they love Curry because he's their own.
Yeah.
Durant's kind of the mercenary who came in. Sure, we're going to cheer for you because we won another ring, but they root for Curry. And then Durant, like you said, you know, game 2, Curry went off, but Durant was like 10 for 14 or something crazy and went for 20-some. And so, I mean, I would like to see Curry win the MVP. I would.
I don't. I don't. And I got a thing that I say too. Great players show up on the road. you
Right.
know.
Oh, absolutely.
And I can't remember the last time Curry played good in the finals on the road. I mean, I don't remember.
I thought there was something telling that happened late in the fourth quarter. I don't know. It might have been like 5 minutes left. And Golden State was inbounding the ball after a made Cavaliers basket. And Steph was basically sprinting from half court to come get the inbounds play. KD was already standing there. The ball went to KD. Steph put his hands on it and then immediately backed away. It was almost like KD said, nah, like, get out of
I
my way.
got
This is
this.
my game.
Yeah.
And KD's unguardable. And the thing, Curry has to use screens and a lot. He needs help to get his. KD's unguardable.
Yeah.
He's a
Nah,
freak, 7-foot guard.
Guys is trying to put a hand in his face.
And they're not tall enough.
And their hand is stopping him on his fadeaway. They can't even give it over his eyes. You know,
Yep.
it's hopping here. So, I mean, you can't do nothing with that.
Yeah, that's like everybody has been marveling at the LeBron James fadeaway that he's been using ruthlessly, especially in the early part of these playoffs. And everyone's like, "Oh, he has that's such a special shot." And I look at Kevin Durant, I'm like, he doesn't have to have that shot. He doesn't need to fade away ever. He just rises up, and there's not a soul in the NBA who can reach it.
Just like Dirk Nowitzki.
Yep.
Yes.
Same thing.
Now, we were talking about before we got here, I had a prediction that KD will leave them
I said the same
in
thing.
about 3 years.
I said the same. I said it. You quicker than
Before that, once he'll
I
get his
wouldn't be
second
surprised.
one. He'll get his second one this year, and I think he'll still be around and get one more. And after that, I think he's gone.
Yeah, that's what we said. For all you Golden State Warrior fans that don't know who Rick Barry is, who have a Dirk Nowitzki or Allen Iverson jersey in your closet because you just kind of bounce around. The truth is, money, as you were talking about earlier, and the fact that egos, essentially when these guys get a couple of rings, then they're going to want individual legacies to separate. But we got to go. Thank you for coming in, Michael Norwood, Antwan Scott. We got to meet again, though, because we'll put a cap on this and start talking, because the NBA draft is literally like 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away from yesterday.
So we'll have you guys on in soon, maybe next week, too. So let's take a break. We'll come back. More of the
Thanks for
drive
having
coming
me.
up.
All right.